Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes it happens. Sometimes we get some cheeky weekend mods. Saturday was no different. I was busy doing map tours and all sorts of other stuff, so I'm doing it now. This is SMI Modding Team Saturday, I think it was. So, we do have some updates as well. We've got the Vineyard Pack crossplay by SMI Modding Team ETA La Mochoise. We've got the Mascar Montana 600 by SMI Modding Team. The Valentini Ripper 5500 by SMI Modding Team. All the mods that we've got now are all SMI Modding Team, apart from this first one, which is SMI Modding Team and RamonGrillo. So, what have we got? In front of me, this is the new Holland Foldbar 6.16. 8.64 megabytes download, 6 slots on console, 6.2 meters wide. This is an all-crop header for forage harvesters, but it's foldable, which is pretty cool. So nice width on it, but folds up nice and small. So for driving down those tight country lanes, everything is absolutely golden. You will find this under forage harvester headers, out on the end there, 71,500. It will do all those crop types, including grass. But when I say grass, it will only do grass that you have planted. It won't do what I've always referred to, I think the game does as well, as meadow grass, the grass around the edges, around the sides of fields, that kind of stuff. But it will do grass that has been planted and grown by yourselves. Slot count will come down to 1. Options on the side, we've got decals red, decals white. Then we've got attacher type, New Holland, class, John Deere, and back again. And then we've got colour options for those. We've got New Holland, class, John Deere, and we've got a Fendt as well. So it kind of matches up with the standard in-game harvesters, so you can have a few different options. I've got one of each because I wanted to show you a couple of the things it can do. It is very cool, I have to say. The SMI Modding Team stuff is always good quality. I love this. The next one we're going to see as well. The technology and the engineering that goes into making these things do what they do. I mean, having folding headers is not something new, but I just love it. I think it's very cool. So, if we turn this on, we are in front of a sorghum crop because it's an all crop header. Now, it's interesting because I've always been very much of the opinion, especially in game, all crop headers are fine. They're great. They're available in real life and all that kind of thing. There's always been that trade-off in game of saying, okay, if I'm going to do, because this is creating chaff to go into a silage clamp to make silage, so you're silaging. But if you're all cropping a crop which is worth more than the silage is, why would you do it? You know, in game it's that thing of I can make more money selling the crop than I can making it into silage, unless you need the silage for something specific, which you might well do. But in the real world there is a situation that can arise, and I've sort of seen that a lot recently on different farming channels that I watch, that if a crop goes past its prime, if they can't get it out of the ground and harvest it when they want to because of bad weather, because of rain, if the crop starts to wither or rot, or they can't use it as the crop it was intended for, but they could or can use it as an animal fodder or an animal crop. So that's the reason these headers exist, is for that sort of thing. Some crops are made specifically for doing this. They're never designed for being used as a cereal crop. They're always intended for this. Not all of them, but some. What I'm going to do, I've got another one out here because I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure whether or not, I'm sure I've had this before, that I've got, although it's turned that into chaff, it wouldn't let me then go on to a different crop because I've already started on one. It might work. If it does, that's fantastic. I mean, you can bounce between crops, but I'm pretty sure when I did this before, it wouldn't let me because I'd already started with sorghum. No, we're all good. So you can bounce between your crops. So I've just done sorghum and sunflower, and the header is working absolutely perfectly. So what I have then got over here, I've got the John Deere version, because I thought I might have to swap over and do the sunflower with the. So it's just a different colour choice and that kind of thing. Same header. So that's that, and then I'll show you the grass one. So as I say, there's a difference between grass that you plant and grow, and there's the grass that you can paint on. I think on previous versions you could cut this stuff with these headers. I might be going back to FS17 though trying to think now. So, turn it on. Where did that come from? Did I push that along as I'm like, that's brilliant. Come away. Now I haven't got any silage additive in, but if you are doing grass work like this, silage additive in your forage harvester is an absolute must. And there you go. So that is the New Holland Foldbar 6.16. Next, we've got this, the Cressoni CRX series, also by SMI modding team. 50.42 megabytes download. We've got 17 slots, 18 slots, and 18 slots. You'll see why. Well, you'll see why. There are 3 separate headers, that's why, in different widths. But again, the technology involved in getting this to unfold, but also the fact that you don't necessarily need a header trailer. I mean, obviously, driving down the road, if you go in cab, visibility is not great. You could lower it down, but then you run the risk of dragging it on the ground. So, I mean, they probably would go on header trailers, but you can run them like that, especially if you're going across fields and not going out on the road, that kind of thing. You could probably get away with it. So, let's go back to there. These you'll find under headers. So we start with the CRX 6.00 at 6 metres, the 6.6 at 6.6 metres, and the 7.2 at 7.2. These do your standard crop types. Options are the same on all 3. I've gone for the 7.2, but let's have a look at the 6. Like I say, options are exactly the same. So configuration: New Holland, John Deere, Class, Case, Agco, Fendt, Massey Ferguson, Rosselmash, Laverda, and back again. You've got the safety signal bar, if you want that, for road work. Then you've got a hydraulic tank for older combines. So if you want to add that extra bit of immersion, you can. Then you've got attacher type, depending on what option you then go for. You've got your New Holland, John Deere, Class, Lexion, Tryon, Axial Flow, Fendt and Massey Ferguson Ideal, back to New Holland. So we've got a few different options there for the attacher. And that's the same on all 3. But this is the cool bit. I mean, absolutely fantastic. I love it. And you look at it and go, you're alright, it's a folding header. But the engineering that goes into making that work, to making it fold and unfold, but then also once it is unfolded, it locks into place and it's good to go as just a header. You know, it's staggeringly cool. I think we do actually turn it off. I think we've got the option. Yeah, we can still do the reel. We've got in or out. We've got up and down? Oh no. Normally you get up and down as well. We've got in and out. Hang on, no. There we go, that was going, there we go. Up and down, in or out, on the reel. So we do have some option there. Just superb. And then when you're done, the reverse. I could watch that doing that all day long. I know you don't want to, but I could. Anyway, that's the Cressoni CRX series. Next. We've got this, the Valentini Diablo series. 23.24 megabytes download, 18 slots, and we've got a 4 meter or a 5 meter version. I've gone. This one is a spiked roller, and I think I've got 2. I've got the 4 and a 5. I think there are 3 different options for the rollers on the back. These are power harrows. That's where you'll find them. So on the end of the Diablo series, slot count comes down to 160 horsepower required. We've got a spiked roller, which is what I said, I've got one of those. We've got a spiral roller, and then I've got the other one of those, the packer roller. You've got track braking anchors at the front for that compaction of the wheels of your tractor, so you can have those on if you want. And then you've got the Diablo 4000 at 4 metre and the 5000 at 5 metre. Again, the level of detail, the fold and unfold animation, brilliant. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. So, let's start that up. Driven from the PTO. Shallow cultivation, if you're doing it over a crop that's just been harvested, like that. These tractors don't always work particularly well with certain mods, I'm not quite sure why. But if we go over to a section here that's already been cultivated, it should give you a smoother seed bed. That's the whole point of the power harrow. Drop that down. There we go, look at that. Smooth as a freshly buttered banister. And then the 5 metre, which I've got over here, went for the packer roller on that one. It's just slightly wider, does exactly the same thing. Yeah, that stuttering is the tractor, not the actual some reason. And it does it every now and again. There you go. That's the Valentini Diablo series by SMI modding team. Which brings us on to the last of the mods. This is an interesting one actually. This is the Ocrama JH series, Jekyll and Hyde. So we've got Jekyll and we've got Hyde. Jekyll is a disc harrow, Hyde is a cultivator. Now these are designed to go together. Now obviously in game, if we're cultivating, we would probably do one or the other. You know, if you need to cultivate a field, you'll use a disc harrow or you use a cultivator or, you know, some other way of doing your cultivation. But obviously in game now, with all the various different options we've got, we can get different states, different looks for our seed beds. So these are designed to go together. That being said, the Jekyll portion has a 3-point link here, which allows you to hook the Hyde option up. So you can run the disc harrow, but then run something else behind it. It doesn't have to be the Hyde. That's the other point behind this, is you can run other implements other than the Hyde component. Now we do have, this is the 3 metre of each, and then we've got a 4, 5, 6. I've gone for the 6, and what I've done is I've put the cultivating option on there, and I've left the disc one there, just to show you the different ways they will operate, which you'll see anyway, and how they operate combined. So, again, level of detail, quality, can't fault it. 25.25 megabytes download. If we go into our disc arrows first, so that's our Jekyll portion. We've got the Jekyll 300 and then we've got the Jekyll series. So the 300, that's 4 slots, comes down to 1. That's your 3 metre, no options, but as you can see, front 3-point link for going onto the tractor, rear 3-point for adding something else on. Then we go to the Jekyll series, and that's your Jekyll, that's your 4 metre, that's your 5 metre, that's your 6 metre. Again, no other options other than that. Horsepower requirements 120, 140, 160. Then we come from there, and we go to our cultivators, and that's where you get your Hyde versions. That's the 3 metre. That one is, sorry, I meant to say on the other one it was 9 slots for the other one. This is 4 slots, that one's 11 slots. So this one is your 3 metre. And then that one is your 4 metre, your 5 metre, and your 6 metre. For the cultivating portion, horsepower requirement 170, 220, 250. obviously combined with the other ones, you know, you're going to need a fair bit of horsepower. So what we'll do, actually, yeah, we'll start with this one. So the cultivating section of this, on its own, like so. It's interesting because the disc harrows, generally speaking, will give you a shallow cultivation. So the curious thing with this is, if you're going to run the disc harrow with the cultivator behind it, cultivators often, unless it's a shallow cultivator, unless it specifies, which actually, you know what, I'm going to double check that. It just says a cultivator prepares fields for the next sowing. The shallow ones, it says at the top, shallow cultivators for shallow cultivation. So what you're doing is you're running a disc harrow which gives you shallow cultivation, then a cultivator which doesn't. Which is an interesting one. Let's unfold that to bring it to its 3 meters. We drop the whole lot down. And as you can see, that will bring up stones because you've got the cultivator behind the disc harrow. The disc harrow won't, but the cultivator does. So it's a curious one, isn't it? But we should be able to... Oh no, it all lifts together because it's joined, so we can't separately lift them. Yeah, it's a curious one. Because I would have thought possibly it would have been the other way around. So the cultivator, then the disc harrow behind it. But I think... Yeah, don't know. I mean, that's what it does. That's what it's designed to do. I'm not a farmer. I'm sure there's a reason why. So this one, I've gone for the cultivator just to show the cultivating first. So as we've already seen, it will bring up stones. There you go. So you can just run it as a cultivator. You don't have to run the two together. That's the only problem with that. You have to fold it to disconnect it. Nice animation on folds and unfolds as well. Drop that off. Let's go and grab Mr. Jekyll. So like I say, again, with the 3-point link on the back of that, I could run this with another implement. I could cultivate and have a seeder on the back of it if I wanted to. I don't have to have this combined, but I can if I want. It's on its own. Off it goes. No stones being brought up. It will do its thing. I did have to put a front weight on because the 6 metre with both of those in the back, it's quite a weighty proposition. Yeah, so I don't know. Like I say, in game, I don't know why you would run both together, especially unless you've got field stones turned off. That's fine. But the fact that I could run the disc harrow on its own and get my cultivating done, but then I'm running the cultivator behind it, which is then bringing stones up. I think it just makes sure, I guess, in reality, in the real world, that any clods, any lumps, any stuff, it's all properly got rid of. That's giving you, it's just really chopping everything up. And that one's going a little bit deeper with the option, you know, for turning your soil. Anyway, that's it. That's the mods for Saturday the 16th December. That's our weekenders. From SMI modding team and RamonGrillo, I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.